All right, if you would go and hold your homework handouts up, those word problem handouts, so that I can see that they are completed. Had someone ask, are we supposed to get fractions for both? Let's find out. It says contractors laying carpet to cover the floor of the master bedroom. The width of the bedroom is 8 feet less than twice the width. If he'll need 192 square feet of carpet, find the dimensions of the bedroom. When it says find the dimensions, what two things are we looking for here, Kendall?
Width and length.
The width and the length. Good. And which one did you choose to be x?
The length.
And how did you represent the width?
2x minus 8.
Good. Now, it's talking about the floor of the bedroom. So this goes back to, your junior high and really even upper elementary math days. When it talks about the floor of the bedroom, is it talking about the perimeter or the area, class? The area. The perimeter would be the wall space, right? Maybe if they were putting baseboard down or something like that, or wallpaper on the, well, wallpaper has kind of an area feel as well, but I guess maybe border around the top of the wall or something like that. You'd be thinking perimeter, but here we're thinking of area. Plus, it also says he needs 192 square feet of carpet. So that means we're needing the area, and how do I find the area of what is apparently a rectangular master bedroom, class? Length times width, right? Area equals length times width. So I simply take the length, well, I guess x, times the width, 2x minus 8, and that's going to give me the area of 192 square feet. How many have this equation? How many treat it like a perimeter problem? Double the length, double the width? Yep, you were the fraction people, right? All right, does it make sense now? All right, so I'm applying a little bit of the junior high math here. So let me have back row people help me with this. Now that we have the correct formula or correct equation, what should we do, Abby?
Distribute the x.
To get?
2x squared minus 8x equals 192.
What next, Audrey?
Move the 92 over.
To get?
Negative 92.
And that way it's set equal to 0. Why did you set it equal to 0? Because it is a quadratic equation, a complete quadratic for more specifically, right? An incomplete quadratic, we'd isolate the x squared, but want to set it equal to 0. What next?
Divide by 2.
Thank you. I was hoping one of you two would. I was kind of hoping Audrey would, because I was hoping to get little numbers quicker. But hey, as long as we get in the next couple steps, what are we at now?
X squared minus 4x minus 96.
Is equal to 0. And then once we've done this, we could factor. Well, actually, I can see what they are. So at first I was like, man, 96 is an awfully big number to split up. But it's actually not too bad. How will we factor it?
X minus 12x plus 8.
Good. I was thinking, wait, 8 and 12. Yeah, that'd give me the 4. We're good. Because I was like, man, there's a bunch of different factors in 96. Outer inner checks, though, so we get two possible answers for x, Audrey.
12 or negative 8.
But x, class, represents the length of the room. So one answer makes no sense. Negative 8. You can't have a negative 8 length. That's just silly, right? So 12, and it's feet, right? Sure, 12 feet. 12 feet is the length. And then what about the width of the bedroom? Audrey?
12. No, that's not right.
16 feet. So this particular bedroom is wider than it is long, I guess. And if you multiply that, you will get 192 square feet of space. How many has 16 feet by 12 feet dimensions? All right. Questions on this? Questions on this? By the way, if it weren't talking about actual dimensions or something, it just happened to have two numbers, 12 and negative 8, we could say negative 8 or 12. In which case, if we plug in the negative 8, we could get negative 24 or 16, right? But because we're talking about area, it's ridiculous to suggest negatives, hence we'll only go with the positives. But again, in a quadratic problem, it's not impossible to get two sets of answers. Questions on that first word problem? Let's take a look at the next one. It says in an archery competition, Jake hit the bullseye, 5 points, 4 fewer times than he hit the middle circle, 3 points. He hit the outer rim, not from Star Wars, 1 point, 3 times more than he hit the middle circle. He did not receive any points for total misses. If his score was 37, how many times did he hit the bullseye? How many unknowns did we have in this problem, Genesis?
3.
And they are?
The bullseye, the middle circle, and the outer rim.
Good. The bullseye, the middle, and the outer. And the question is, how many times did he hit these? So number of times, right? And which of these unknowns did you choose to be x?
Middle.
The middle circle, because it kept coming back to the middle circle. For instance, it said he hit the bullseye 4 fewer times.
Oh, X minus 4.
And he said he hit the outer rim 3 times more than he hit the middle. X plus 3. And this tells us how many times he hit each of these. But I can't take a number of times hitting each and have it add up to his points, because they're not all worth the same. So the number of times he hit varies, but also the points vary as well. Right? Every bullseye, it says, was worth 5 points. The middle circle and the outer rim, 1 point. So just as we've done number, value, total value. Well, my value here isn't money, money, money. It's points, points, points. So yeah, it doesn't have the same ring to it, does it, Maddie? So anyway, total points. How many total points did he get for all of his bullseyes, Maddie?
5x and 8.
And for all of his hits on the middle circle, Brandon?
3x.
And for all of his hits on the outer rim, Audrey?
X plus 3.
And if I take all the points from bullseyes, all the points from middle circle, all the points from the outer rim, it's going to add up to his total score, which gives us what equation here? Abby?
5x minus 20 plus 3x plus x plus 3 equals 37.
There we go. We can simplify some things here, Michael.
You can combine the x's to get 8x, 9x actually. And then you can combine the negative 23 to get negative 17. And you can move it over to the other side to get 54.
So 9x ends up equaling a 54. So x class simply equals 6. Which means that 6 times he hit the middle circle. How many times did he hit the bullseye? Just twice. How many times did he hit the outer rim? 9 times. And the only question asked for was the bullseye. How could I check this problem though, Kendall?
You could add them up.
Well, I could, and I add them up and I get 17. Brandon?
So you multiply that by the point value?
Right, account for the point values. You're right. 2 bullseyes at 5 points each is how many points, class? 10. And then 6 middle circle is 18 points, and 9 outer rims, 9 points. And that adds up to the 37 points, and that's how we could check a problem like this. Questions on a differing number, differing value type problem. It just didn't happen to have money involved this time. How many got these answers? Ooh, only Brandon. Okay, questions. Questions. All right, if we have time, I'll maybe see if I can make up a couple more word problems like these. How many would like another word problem like one of these? Which, the first or the second? How many say, I really like another one like the first one? How many say, I really like another one like the second? Okay, I'll make up a second one, something similar to the second one while you do page 153, 2 through 8 even. Page 153 at the bottom of the page, 2 through 8 even, and I will try to make up a word problem that actually works out okay. Similar somewhat to that second word problem. You're wondering what the racket is on YouTube. That is the K3 class that is very excited about the last day of school for the semester. Just a little bit longer to be working on these, and then we'll go over them together. aren't you glad number 2 wasn't an inequality? Otherwise, we would have had to be testing, what, 5 ranges? But we didn't have to. We just had to find those 5 values. How many went through the PQ method twice to get the 1 and the 3 and found the answers? Any questions on that? All right, continue working. Okay, maybe not. So on number 4, the initial work wasn't bad, right? As long as you remember a half exponent becomes a 2/4, which splits 1/4 and 1/4. You end up raising both sides of each of these little equations to the 4th power, the reciprocal of 1/4, to get 4096 or 1. But I'm really suspicious of that 1. And I tested it because it was easy to test compared to the 4096, and it didn't work. So I crossed it out, which means I'm pretty confident this one works. And on a test, maybe I check it. I'm going to gamble. And I didn't square a negative there. The other answer already didn't check. I'm reasonably confident that one works. How many found 4096 works? Questions on that? Again, the key is going from 1/2 to 2/4. So you get the matching denominator, makes it easier to split. Keep working. Unless you're done. Wow. Usually we get half of them don't check. I got all 4 of them checking here. And the book does too. I was just second guessing myself, so I said, yeah, book has all 4 of them working out. On this one, how many did all 4 answers check? All right, questions on the absolute value. All right, if you're still working, go and take just a moment on that last one, number 8. I'll leave that up for just a moment longer. Here we have an inequality, so we're going to have to check ranges on this one. Wow. All All right, for sake of time, looking up this way, number 8, set it to 0 by bringing the 4 over as a negative, or setting the fraction over as the negative. Put it over 1, then multiply top and bottom by an x plus 4 to get a common denominator. Combine like terms to get negative 4x, negative 12. Set everything to 0 to get negative 4 as a denominator critical point. Negative 3 ends up being your numerator critical point. And so solid dot on the negative 3, parenthesis, open circle on the negative 4. Test your 3 ranges. The outer ranges don't work, so the only range that works are all the values between negative 4 and negative 3. So basically a bunch of fractions and negative 3 are all that work. Those who made it this far, how many had that? Are there questions on the rational inequality? All right, we're going to have to move fast for sake of time here, but let's take a look at this word problem here. Had to do a little research to pull this one up. And so back in 1980, this is before I was alive, by the way, so just, I'm not that old. But back in 1980, Atlanta Falcons scored 43 points against the Detroit Lions. They had one more than twice as many touchdowns as field goals, and the number of safeties they scored was one less than the number of field goals. How many of each did they score? We're going to say touchdown 7 points because they made all the extra points and they never went for 2. Field goals 3 points, safeties 2 points. Obviously, how many unknowns, class? 3. They are? All right. And which one of them gets to be x here, class?
Let's do safeties.
Field goals?
Field goals. Okay, I was hoping I would hear more people than just Abby saying field goals here. Yes, I'm like, okay, but what about the rest of you? Do you recognize touchdowns are described in terms of field goals, safeties are described in terms of field goals? Let's let field goals be x. How would we represent touchdowns? Right, one more than twice as many, so 2x plus 1. And what about safeties? X minus 1, one less than field goals, so x minus 1. And that refers to the number of each. But then we also have to account for the points, or the value of each. Touchdown is? Assuming you make your extra points, stay with me, field goals. And safeties, 2. All right, so then we need to get the total points. What's all the points off touchdowns? All the points off field goals. All the points off safeties. And if we take all these together, it's going to add up to how many points? 43 points. What mathematically, algebraically, would I get when I add these all together?
19x plus 5.
Good, 19x positive 5. The x's combined for a 19x, and the positive 7, negative 2 combines for a positive 5 equals 43. From here we need to move over the 5 as a negative to get 38, and then divide away the 19 to get, which means they had 2 field goals, 5 touchdowns, 1 safety. Let's check the points here. 5 touchdowns is 35 points, 2 field goals, and the safety 2, and that does add up to 43 points that the Falcons scored in that game. Do you feel like you understand a little bit better now? And people are like, if only the Falcons could score 43 points now. But no, it doesn't happen that way. And I realized my work is over here, so hopefully you were listening more so than watching as we went through the equation. But there we go. Sorry about that, YouTube. All right. You are dismissed. Have a wonderful rest of your day, I say, as I'm getting ready to give you an exam. You are dismissed.